Hello and good morning. We are going to take you along for a homeschool day in the life. I have not done one of these in forever. A few people's been requesting, so I thought we might as well. This is a pretty typical day in the life. Like on Mondays, we are busy and we're hopping from like appointment to appointment. So we've already eaten breakfast. The kids had waffles. I had some leftover steak and eggs and toast. So really good breakfast to get us started. We are sitting here, we're packing our lunch because we're getting ready to leave for speech. So also we have an hour between speech and then we go to ice skating lessons. And so in that hour, the kids eat their lunch that we're packing. We pack it so that we don't go through drive-thrus and such. And then I have the kids packing up some of their schoolwork so that in that hour that they're eating and we're kind of just sitting there, we could do some of their schoolwork also. And this is a really good way to get it done, even though we have a really, really busy day. So I got to read my handwriting. You gotta bring more than just your handwriting. Okay. Okay. All right, so the little one, the 5-year-old, is going to go with us today. Daddy works from home, so if some kids want to stay at home, they can. But I am requesting that they do some school without me. They know what subjects they can get done without me. They know which ones they need my help. And then Daddy's here for, you know, any questions and stuff, but he's busy working, so they know they need to stay as independent as they can. I've got some pencils. I'm going to get those all sharpened up so that we're all ready to go, and we are getting ready to leave in like 5 minutes. All right, I make sure each of the pencils are sharpened. I also make sure we have erasers on them because 5, 7, and 7-year-olds need erasers. All right, so we made sure to clean up after breakfast so that it's all ready when we come back home. And then also the kitchen is cleaned up. I didn't have time to get all of the dishes done, so they are rinsed and just piled into the sink though. All right, before we leave, I also am throwing a load in the washing machine, and that way while we're gone, everything is getting done. Either I could switch this to the dryer when we get home, or my daughter or my husband can switch it before we get home because we will be gone for a couple hours. Either way, this is something working while I'm not even home to get it done. All right, this one hasn't been up long. Well, probably about an hour, but she likes to sleep in because, you know, 12-year-olds. What are you gonna do while I'm gone?
School and sleep.
You won't have time to sleep. I need you to get all your school done, okay? You promise me? You promise me? Oh, you pinky promise me. Here, pinky promise, make it official. Ooh, I love you. Be a good girl. Mommy loves you. I love these teenage years. All right, so we have left home and the kids on the drive over, we have like a 15 to 20 minute drive depending on traffic. So the drive over to speech, the kids are doing what? They're doing school because they're motivated by one thing. And guys, let's be real right here. What are we motivated by?
School.
It's not school. Twins, what are you guys trying to get school done to do?
Skating, space, and games.
That last one, what was it?
Games.
Games. So sometimes we get these educational tablets from the library and then we allow some video games, but they know that there is no chance of playing video games if school is not done first. And then it really depends on the day. Like before, I never allowed them to play video games during the week. It was only a weekend thing. But they've gotten so efficient about getting school done and everything, and it's just still cold weather, even though it's April. It's freezing cold. I think it's like in the 30s right now. And so we have been allowing some video games. So every single day they say, if we get school done, can we play games? So the other thing we've been doing a lot is our local library lets you check out board games. And so we have been doing that a lot because it's a really good way to try different games to see if you like them. The issue is we have loved all of them that we have been getting. And therefore, my kids want me to buy all of the games that we've been getting. But a lot of them are like strategic games and actually make them think and like really think in depth and plan out stuff and everything. And so really, I feel really good about getting these games. And so we've been having a lot of board game nights lately, and the kids absolutely love it. Yes?
Or if it's a no for after school, we just clean for it.
Oh yeah, he said so if we say no to games after school, like once their schoolwork is done and everything, then they just clean the house in hopes that then we'll say yes. So
the living room.
so they're kind of funny what they're associating with. They think if I get school done and if I clean the house, they'll definitely say yes to games. It's not always a yes and they get disappointed, but at the same time too, I want them to be kids. I want them to have fun, and most of the time the games they're playing are educational. It's harder on video games for them to be educational, but otherwise we have like Osmo, and like I said, we get the tablet and all this kind of stuff from the library because they have different age brackets for the tablet games, and so it works out for all 4 of my kids to have them. So, all right, we are going to get on to speech, and I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. All right, guys, 10:29. Our speech starts at 10:30. We never cut it this close, so I'm going to get the kids inside. All right, we got the kids inside, and exciting, no more masks at speech as of today. And then little chicken here, she keeps going by chicken instead, Kenzie. Little chicken here found what?
A speckle.
A bird feather, huh? And it's kind of striped. Here, let me see if I can get, there we go. All right, what kind of bird do you guys think this came from? I'm curious. Aren't woodpeckers a little bit striped? So we're gonna look up a few things about this feather and try to figure out what type of bird that it came from, and then we're gonna sit down and do what? What'd you bring along with us to do? School. I also brought along the 3 little pigs because I'm going to work with her on retelling a story and like remembering what happens next and last and all this kind of stuff, because she's just at that perfect age for it, and that's a really good story to be able to do. And so we're going to do that. She has her math, and then she has just like a highlights kindergarten book that we work through that does, you know, like phonics and writing your letters and finding stuff and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to have some fun together, aren't we? All right, let's keep going. And another thing is we might have some huge announcement for next school year. We're kind of back and forth. I'll probably make a separate sit-down video for it on what decisions are going to be made. I don't know, like everything's just kind of weird. So look forward to that video coming too. I don't know. There's a lot up in the air, so we'll see. All right, and I want to show you guys something. I have shown this plenty of times, but there is this tray that hooks onto your steering wheel. So there's one side that's flat, one side that you can kind of put food and stuff. I end up buying it so that I can put stuff on it to do planning like this with my happy planners. I will link my other channel down below that I do all of my planning and decorating in these and everything. So this is my fitness one, and like literally I track a whole bunch of stuff, track all my food, my workouts, all that kind of stuff in it, and it is so much fun to do this, and very resourceful to look back and see what changes I need to make. And then these bottom two are like my catch-all, my daily type planners. And so I will link that. But then the other thing that I end up using this for is usually I do not have an extra child with me. I just have the twins and they go into speech. And so this lap tray, I end up bringing along my computer to do a lot of my editing for you guys on it. And that way, like, it's nice and quiet out here in the van, and I have a whole entire hour to try to get stuff done twice per week. So that really helps me, and it keeps me from staying up until 4 in the morning to do all this stuff. And so I highly, highly recommend this. I got it off of Amazon, so I will find it and I will link it down below. But I mean, it is so lightweight, it's washable. I mean, I love this thing, and we have 3 different vehicles and it fits on all the steering wheels beautifully. So again, link it down below. I love it. All right. This child's going to be the death of me. So I open up her math and I see that she is writing like all her numbers backwards. So I said, hey, why are you writing your numbers backwards? And she tells me what?
I can't buy my one vowel.
She said, I didn't write my 1 backwards. Guys, this child, ever since the day she was born, just kills me. She absolutely kills me. I love her confidence. I love her simplicity. All right, they used to never write their numbers backwards, and for some reason, like this last month, they're writing everything backwards. And same with my twins, they never used to confuse B and D, and for like the last 6 months, they are confusing B and D, like little B and D, like crazy. So we've been working on all this kind of stuff. Is this a normal thing to confuse like the B and D at age 7, even though you had that before? And is it a normal thing to like write your numbers backwards after you've been writing them correct for a couple of years? So let me know, what are your tips and tricks? I just kind of try to correct it as we go and move on and not make it a huge deal. But all right, so we are all done with speech. I was going to record some work that I did with Miss 5-year-old here, but I ran out of memory on my card. So after speech, I ran home real quick. We are now sitting at the parking lot for ice skating lessons. For
away by screaming through the window.
She's scaring birds. But for my son, he takes ice skating lessons in preparation to be able to do ice hockey. So these, it's just Monday for a half hour each time, and he's gotten really good at it. So then this oldest child decided she wanted to come along too, so I ended up picking her up. And then I think after this, we might do some grocery shopping. And by grocery shopping, I mean super, super minimal. So one thing that we are doing that you will see on the channel is that we are doing a pantry, freezer, fridge challenge. So that means I'm not doing grocery shopping. I'm just trying to use up what all is in our house. But we're kind of to the point, like, I need some shredded cheese or cheese slices. We need milk and bread. You know, those basic things I'm still buying. So I'm trying not to buy as much as I can. And then the other thing I'm missing, because part of my diet is trying to get more protein, is cottage cheese is a really good way to get a lot of protein for a small amount of calories. So I want to get us more cottage cheese, which is such a weird thing to want, but it works out really well for me, especially for lunches. So the kids, Kenzie got all her math done, and then we read The 3 Little Pigs, like I was discussing with you guys that we were going to do, and then we reviewed, you know, what came first, what comes next, what comes last. We reviewed like different ideas about the illustrations. She told me the story back, like she read the story back to me, and so we went through a whole bunch of those nice things. I know you can't read, baby, but you told me the story, right? And so now we're gonna go into skating, and like I said, I kind of have a little list in my head as to what we need to get from the grocery store. So, all right, let's move on to the next thing for the day. Oh, and while I was gone, my daughter here ended up getting what subject completely done?
I finished my Good and the Beautiful. I got it done for the day.
Yeah, so her language arts, the Good and the Beautiful, she got that completely done. She would have gotten math done had I not gone home and picked her up, but she wanted to leave with us, so that's fine. So we still have to do math when we go back home. And then honestly, I don't think the twins truly got anything completed. They worked on their math on the way over to speech, but then they were eating you know, between speech and skating. So I don't think they've really gotten any of their lessons done. So we'll still have to work on that. Is that cool? See, cleaning it? All right, ice skating is all done. That was fun. We have made some homeschool friends. So this is a homeschool time. It's in the middle of the day. And we have made really good friends with another mama and her 3 boys. And so we have a lot of fun catching up and chit-chatting while the kids are doing their skating. And then this one had lost her feather underneath the bleachers. So they went under to get her feather and they found
2 hockey pucks.
Hockey pucks, and so they were really excited. Beckett's excited to see an actual hockey puck because he plays deck hockey, so it's with a ball that they're doing, and so now he knows what they'll actually be hitting for ice skating hockey, and so that's fun. And now we are heading to Walmart. That is my feeling too. I hate grocery shopping. I hate going to Walmart. Like, I just feel like it's crazy busy. We usually always order all our stuff online, but there's some stuff I just need to go into store for. And also, like I said, my goal is not really spending money on groceries truly. So we're gonna go get a few things that we're wanting because we are on week 4? Week 4 of doing this. So it's been a while since we've gone and like truly bought something. And so we'll see if we can keep it under a certain amount. All right, let's get to Wally World. All right, so we redid Beckett's room probably like a year ago. We've been waiting at least 6 months to get him Batman bedding because everything is around $100. And then what do we just find at Walmart?
Batman bedding.
Batman bedding. They have never had it. So his comforter is only like, let me see here. His comforter is only $31.88 and it comes with 1 pillowcase, and then I'm going to get him the matching sheets for $20.98. So instead of $100, I am spending like half of that. No, you don't need a new hooded towel, silly. Oh my gosh, we're swimsuit shopping for 4 kids. They already kind of have some are worn out for elastic, some aren't fitting perfectly or won't fit all season. This is always a stressful time, swimsuit shopping. But then we were in the bathroom. This lady takes a phone call next to us and she's literally arguing with her baby daddy, cussing him out and stuff while we're all in the bathroom. Talk about awkward. All right, we're gonna keep on shopping. All right, Kenzie, what's your swimsuit?
A Nino.
A unicorn. And then Brooklyn, what's yours?
Rainbow.
It's a rainbow one with a mandala, and then Lexi has 2 different ones she's looking at. So they're all happy with them. They're like $10 to $14 each, so really, really good prices. All right, this is the exact reason why I don't go into Walmart. Look at this, you guys. $309, a cart full. That's all. Granted, we got each of the kids a swimsuit except for the boy, because he already has 2 at home. And then we got the bedding set with sheets, and so that's like $50. I'll talk to you guys in the van because it's windy. Whew. Okay. Does anybody else feel like Walmart is a marathon? Like, my Walmart for some reason is switching everything around as far as where placement is. And like I said, I usually always order stuff online, and so I don't know where anything is in the store. And then of course, we're looking forever for bread because we needed milk and bread and, you know, some basics. And so I'm looking forever for bread, at which we need. And of course they put it towards the back of the store. So you have to walk the whole entire store to be able to get a basic item. That's why your milk is way in the back of the store too. And that way you have to walk the store and make these impulse purchases, at which we're all horrible about. So anyways, my total was $309.71. I was hoping like $100 or under. See, this is why I don't go to Walmart. And so it says we got 60 items, And so I do know a few of these things really like made the price go up. Like my son's comforter was almost $32. And then the sheet set that goes with it, let me find it here, was $20.98. So there alone is over $50. Then the swimsuits, like one was $14, one was $10. I got a few shorts for my kids because, you know, summer is sometime gonna come. And then we even got, like my husband likes Monster Energy drinks, and so I ended up spending almost $20 on those. It's $18.98, but it's I don't know how many is in there. I'd have to look. There's quite a few in there though, so it saves us money in the long run. But then also, I got a big bag of cheese, which is always expensive too. So anyways, when we get home, we'll lay everything out so that we can do a haul for you guys and let you guys know. And then I'll actually calculate out like how much I used on my food, considering I am on a spending freeze for food during our challenge. But a few of these things, like I said, yogurt, I feel like we just have to have fresh fruit and vegetables. I feel like that's something I need to buy for my family. And then like milk and bread is something we need to be able to utilize and get other stuff out of the pantry and freezer. So, all right, now that I just did a whole entire marathon, let's go home and do another marathon and put it all away. Oh, and I know I said this was going to be a homeschool day in the life, and it is. Like, this is realistic homeschooling. Like, we did most of it in the vehicle. My oldest daughter did most of hers. We still got to do math. And then the little kids, well, the twins, the littlest one is done with school. The twins still need to, I think one needs to finish half of a page of math, and then we need to do language arts and read together. And then my oldest daughter needs to do her math. But we have nothing else going on tonight, so we do have the time to get it done. It is currently 3:40 in the afternoon. So I know I said this is a homeschool day in the life, but like I said, this is very realistic because a lot of moms, while their kids are in school, that's when they're running the errands and doing the grocery shopping and all that kind of stuff. And instead, as a homeschool mom, I take all my kids with me. So I just want to keep it really real with you guys, and this is really real. All right, this is everything we got for the 309. I have to hurry and get it done because we have a client come into the house. Let's start down on the side and go to the other. So this ham was like a little over $20, I think $21.96. This is definitely something I didn't need, but with Easter coming up and stuff, I think we were gonna have great grandma over early, so she would appreciate that greatly. The big thing, mild cheddar cheese, like we just always have to have shredded cheese. Cottage cheese, this is my favorite brand, and they usually have this in a really big container, but they don't carry it right now. So I got these two for me, and then I got this one for the kids because it's a little cheaper and the kids do like that brand. And then they've been asking for some cheese, and so I end up getting this big 2-pound. This I got for me because I've heard the macros aren't that bad on it. It's 280 calories, 18 grams of protein for all of this. And then we're looking at, for fat, 7 grams, and for carbs, it says 35 grams. So not awesome, but compared to some of the convenience foods that my kids end up eating, this is a better choice for me for lunch, because I think that's kind of the meal that I'm kind of struggling with here a little bit. I also got these Power Bites for me. They're called Meat Lovers, and it says it has real pork sausage, bacon, ham, egg, cheddar cheese, and breadcrumbs, and so they're like little balls. And this looked really, really good. 20 grams of protein for this and 340 calories. So not beautiful, but yet when I'm in a pinch and stuff, this is a really good way to get my protein in. Then I ended up getting these rolls so that we can do hoagies, like subs. So I got some buffalo chicken, some roast beef, some Black Forest ham, and then I got sliced cheddar and sliced Colby Jack cheese. So that is a nice easy meal that we can do. The kids ended up all bringing their own change, and so 2 of them put their change together to make $1 to get everybody a ring pop, and then the other one used her $1 to get some gum. So I let them end up doing that. Then we have some sour cream back here. Again, it's not anything I want to buy, meaning we're on a spending freeze, but yet to use some of our other stuff, we need the sour cream to go along with it. Yogurt, my kids love yogurt for breakfast, and so I ended up getting 3 things of yogurt. And then again, for my protein, I really am liking the Fairlife, especially the Core Power ones. I hadn't previously seen the strawberry banana flavor, and that sounds really, really good. So it's 26 grams of protein, and I have been being horrible, absolutely horrible about skipping meals again. So this will be perfect for me. It says, if it'll ever, sorry, I'm trying to get it to focus for y'all. It says 170 calories, 26 grams of protein, 4.5 grams of fat, and then 7 carbs. So really good macros. This is like exactly what my doctor ended up like suggesting to me. And then I also got, there is a cookies and cream Fairlife one. And this one, let's see, 23 grams of protein, 250 calories, 8 grams of fat, and 21 grams of carbs. So not near as good, but I figure it's better than like drive-through and such. All right, so we got all this stuff over here. Up here, this is the finally found comforter set. Literally, I was getting ready to spend over $100 on just the comforter and then still need to buy the sheets. So I was so super happy when Walmart finally has Batman. So my son, after being very patient for at least a year, he is super excited to go throw this on his bed. He is like, can't wait for me to get done filming. Again, I got a whole bunch of, these are called French steak rolls. There's 24 of them in there for $4.36. Those will be for our hoagies. We got 3 gallons of milk, so that'll last us hopefully throughout the week. And then these two were not a necessity, but they were clearanced out for $5, and they're actually very helpful in a lot of my closets. And then down here, we have pizza crust. We were just running low on it, and again, it's one of those things that helps use up other things that are in the fridge, freezer, and pantry. We got 2 loaves of bread and then 2 things of hamburger buns so that I can use my pulled pork out of my freezer. Then over here, we have a 24 pack of Diet Coke and some Monster Energy drinks. Those are just things my husband enjoys, so we went ahead and spent money on that. We have 5 pounds of 80/20 ground beef. And then these, again, not a necessity, but they were marked down, and so I thought it'd be a really nice dessert. So do these little torte shells and then do strawberries, and we end up heating these up and stuff so that they get like their juices out, and put it over this, and it's a strawberry shortcake. It's super, super good. Here's our produce for a few days. We got a couple cucumbers, some apples, some bananas. Then we are completely out of any type of spaghetti sauce or marinara sauce, and they are not carrying our favorite brand anymore. So I'm gonna try the Great Value marinara. Then I've got this Newman's Own marinara, and I know, woo, that just fell open. I know that they have Rayos, but that was almost $7 for one just like this, and these were either like $2.50 or they were both under $3. So, and then I got a big one because when we make lasagna, we need a big sauce to be enough. All right, then my daughter ended up buying a few of these EOS lip balms, so those are nice. And then I've been doing a lot of Beachbody workouts, and I needed some new bands, and so these were clearanced out, was the only reason why I got them. I wasn't looking for them today, so those will be nice to use. And then as far as clothes, this adds up pretty quickly, but I was very picky choosy on what I actually got. Like these are only $2.98. So this is for my youngest daughter, and they say magical and have a unicorn on the waistband, so I thought she thought that was cute, and I picked black because black goes with everything. Then my middle daughter just needs more shorts, so this is an option for her, and those were only, let me see, $5.98. My son also gonna need some shorts, so these are $8.48, but it's a 2-pack, and again, I picked the neutral colors so that it can go with everything. Then for dance, I figure my 2 little girls can wear these biker shorts if they want. So each of these were $5.98, and I got one in each of their sizes. And then last but not least are the swimsuits. So Justice closed down, I think nationwide. I don't think it's just our area. And Walmart took them over. And my daughter has always loved the Justice brand. So this is her swimsuit that she ended up choosing for the year. That one was $14. And then my youngest, this one was $9.98. And it has a unicorn, and she really loves that. So it's like a little bikini, but this covers her up a little better. And then same with my middle daughter. This one's $9.98. It's a bikini, but this comes down and covers her up a little better. So they're all super excited for swimsuit season. I told them we have at least another like 6 weeks before it'll get warm enough to even consider that at all. So they're all nice and happy. Here's $309. We're gonna get them all put away. We're gonna prep some of this produce so that it doesn't go to waste. And then we are going to get our schoolwork finished. All right, I've had a few people ask me to talk about my weight loss journey because I am down between 35 to 38 pounds depending on what day it is. Obviously you can fluctuate quite a bit. And basically all I'm doing is counting calories. Like I am not on a strict diet. I don't do veggies and salads and all that kind of stuff. It's nothing that I enjoy. So I'm sure I've slowed down my own progress by that. But at the same time, I want something that is completely sustainable. And then like a good 5-6 months into the weight loss journey, I started working out too. And so, I mean, I'm just trying to make healthier choices. So one of my big tips for you is look at your actual serving size. And this says half of a cup, 114 grams. Actually weigh it out because it's amazing how much half a cup will actually be. I should actually get out a measuring cup and do this. So anyways, that's 100 calories, 11 grams of protein, 4.5 grams of fat, and then 5 grams of carbs. So I feel like cottage cheese is pretty good like snack or side for me. Otherwise it'd be like chips that I'd be eating. So I'm going to do this measuring. Let me get out a half cup. All right, so here is our half cup serving of cottage cheese. And let me scoop it off in here, make sure I get it all. All right, I'm gonna scoop it in here and see what we actually truly end up for a serving size. All right, so this says a serving size is 114 grams. Let me get it to focus here for you. All right, serving size, half cup, 114 grams, that's 100 calories. And so we scooped out a half cup of this and weighed it. We're at 146 grams. So, I mean, that's an additional, what, 32 grams? Almost another third serving. That adds up really fast. That's like an extra 30 calories every single time that you do this. And so that's why I really encourage you to weigh it out. And so I went like as close to 114 as I can. I'm not super anal about it. Well, can't get any closer than that. It's 115. So, I mean, that was 2 big spoonfuls that I put back that was extra calories that I'm not accounting for. And that's exactly why some people don't lose weight, because serving size are very deceiving to you. All right, I'm gonna eat the snack real quick because I ended up skipping lunch, finished putting away everything, and then my kids need to finish their school. All right, so I do get a lot of questions about how I do stuff with twins and them being at the same level. Sometimes they're not at the same level. Obviously, he started, this is all about reading level 1 that we are working through. And honestly, it kind of went to the wayside for a couple of months, so we haven't made as much progress as we should have this year. But he obviously started before her, so he will be doing lesson 29 today, and she will be doing lesson 9. But that's how you do twins. I mean, you just go with whatever they're ready. If she's not ready for it and he is, then I move him forward, or vice versa. Basically, if they're having a hard time, we just stop and we work on it until we get it. I mean, there's no sense of stressing her to keep him exactly on the lesson number he is, or, you know, stressing him to keep him on the lesson number that she is in math, or, you know, whatever you're talking about. The one thing, though, that is really good about this program that I've really enjoyed is that it works for both of them. So I don't have to pick a different reading program for one versus the other. Whereas last year with BJU Press, I felt like we were kind of at that point. Like BJU Press, the phonics part and the reading part was working for him very well, but I don't feel like it was really working for her much. So I was at the point of like getting a different curriculum for her, but I also think she just wasn't ready for the reading section part of it. She had to, you know, catch up on a few other things to be able to progress forward on the reading section. So I'm going to sit down with Brooklyn. We are going to start lesson 9. They love this All About Reading. I highly recommend it to anybody. It is quite costly, and the black and white old versions don't match up with the new color edition and all this kind of stuff. And so, I mean, you are going to dish out some money. But that being said too, the activity book, usually you need a different one for each child. But what I have ended up doing is I cut out the pieces, I put them into like a Ziploc bag, and I keep them with each of the lessons. And then we haven't written in the books, like when we do all of our like warm-up sheets and all that kind of stuff, we literally end up just reading, but I don't mark next to it at all. We just haven't felt the need to do it. So far, I mean, we're halfway through with my son, and I haven't felt like I needed to like photocopy anything to be able to use it for a second child. And then my third child will also use this one. So really good. I end up spending, I want to say it was like $130 something. It's between $130 and $150 on this program, and it comes with 2 readers also. But I have to say, like, to get use out of it for 3 kids, I felt like that was an okay cost. So, all right, we're going to get school done now that it is, let's see, it's 4:30 in the afternoon. We're going to do it. All right, sorry about the, like, shading and all this kind of stuff, too. It's obviously starting to, you know, get a little bit cloudy outside and everything. We don't have our lights on, so it's just how the lighting is right now. So lesson 9, it looks like it's a reading day. So I really like it that it literally, it tells you exactly what you need, and then it gives you like some, I don't know, pre-education or some pre-topic type items for the parents to know exactly what you're going to be covering. Then you always do your review, but then they're really good also about having these little blue boxes that tell you different tips and tricks and different ways or styles that you could be teaching the same thing. So we'll start with reviewing all of her phonics cards and her word cards, and then we'll do the activity sheet. We do the warm-up sheet, which is basically reading a whole bunch of words, phrases, names, sentences, stuff like that. And then we do a story. Then you do the next warm-up sheet, and then you read the next story. So this is all for the first story. And literally where there are quotes, you are going to be saying that to your child. So this is the second warm-up sheet. Talk about the vocabulary and like any knowledge that they need, and then read the second story. That being said, sometimes my kids don't get through one lesson in one sitting, and other times they do. So a lot of it, I feel like, depends on how long this warm-up sheet is. Like my son just had one that I want to say was like 4 pages or 5 pages, like front, back, front, back, front. That was super long. We broke that one up into 2 different days, but I've also heard other parents that sometimes, you know, even a shorter sheet just like this ends up taking like 3 days, and that's fine. Go at your kid's pace. All right, so Brooklyn and I get to read 2 different stories today. Another thing I really love about All About Reading, we go ahead and we do purchase these boxes that hold all the cards because it's just so nice, easy, convenient. It like literally it's open and go for me. And so they have a review card, a mastered card, and then future lesson cards. And so I absolutely love this. So we just reviewed her cards. She ended up mastering the ones that were up here. But every now and then, like every few weeks, I pull out all their mastered cards and we go through it. So hers isn't as deep yet because we're only 8 lessons through. But like my son that is halfway through, I mean, his mastered section is like this big. And I don't want him forgetting those. So I pull them out and we end up doing them over again. So she has a lot of review cards here, so my guess is a lot of these are going to be going back into the mastered. But go ahead, spend the money, and get the actual convenient items that the curriculum supplies to you. Oh, and I guess I didn't say for twins, I did end up buying like one of these sets used off of Facebook, and then I bought another one new just because I was already ordering the curriculum. And so like this is Brooklyn's set, and then Beckett has his own set, and that is a very good way. Like if I had to keep track of who has what cards, I would go mad crazy. Whereas them having their own boxes is nice and convenient. And then she has a little sticker right here. She has a little sticker on her box, so that's how we know that this is Brooklyn's box that we're working with, and then his doesn't have a sticker, and so we know that's Beckett's box we're dealing with. And then, like, let's say we had a whole bunch of new cards here up at the beginning that it says I need to pull for the phonogram and for the word cards. I literally pull them and I put them in the lid, and that way I know like those are the cards that I need to be working with them on, and that way everything is prepped and ready to go when they sit down with me. All right, truly, on to the lesson. Having the kids have ring pops when we're trying to work on school is so distracting because all we hear is crunch, crunch, crunch. What color's your tongue?
Blue.
Oh, yours isn't near as green, but hers is really blue. Yeah.
Trying to get green.
All I'm hearing from everybody is crunch, 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 crunch. Was it worth it?
Yeah.
Oh, he just bit his right in half.
I wrote the top.
All right, keep working on your math.
The bottom apple. Yeah. Yeah. That.
It.
Fit in the van.
Yes.
The bit that in the van did the van up
It.
ship a big and live the rat had
Hid.
hid the and hit the bait that
Vic.
with
All right, so there's the exclamation mark at the end. So how should we say that sentence? Hit the gas, Vic. Yeah, are you looking at all the pictures? All right, what's it say on the next page?
no and
That end. So what kind of stuff did Vic take with her?
dog, a ram, a rat,
Yeah, the doghouse. What are those?
apple,
I'm thinking apples. What else?
bed,
Maybe that's pig food, do you think? What about what?
fowl,
Go over here.
fowl,
Oh, a flower.
eye,
How about what else starts with R that is in there? It's behind Vic.
ram,
Ram. Would you take a ram on a trip with you? No, that's so silly. So where do you think they're going? I don't know, because that's some funny stuff, huh? Hopefully to a farm. All right, so Beckett has finished up his math. So we are switching over, and I need to do a video specifically on this. So we are switching over to language arts from the Moffat girls. So that's how you spell it. They are on Teachers Pay Teacher. So Annie Moffat is the creator of this curriculum, and I absolutely love it. A lot of people say it is for public schools. It probably is designed for it, but it has worked so perfectly for us. All right, so it is a download. You end up printing it off on your own. This is not for the whole entire year, so I'm just printing it section by section, and then I end up using my ProClick binder to make them little booklets, so it's nice and easy and keeps all the papers all organized. I will link my ProClick where I got it. I got it from Amazon. I'll link it down below. I highly suggest it. I have used this thing so many times, and these open up so that you can reuse them time and time again. So when we get done with one booklet, then basically I just open all these up. I can get rid of all those pages. I print off the next section that we're doing and I put them in here and I snap these back together. So definitely worth the investment in it if you are a homeschool mama. And so what he's learning about is contractions, and they do basically whenever there is a new thing, they end up having like this poster-like item about it. And so it says exactly what the definition is and what you're looking for and all that kind of stuff. And so they do a really good job, I feel like, kind of working you through it. And then there's different activities that you do with each of the things. And so some of them we've skipped and we've gone back and forth on. He is wanting to play roll the dice, which works really well for me because he can read well. And so he can do this independently. And then some of the things you like cut and paste onto there. And so there's lots of interaction. Every now and then if they're too tired, I'll have them like highlight items. Like this one, usually I go through and I decide if I need to print on the back or not. Like on this one, I would have seen we were cutting out, so not to print on the back. But for this one, I was fine with picking and choosing which one we did. So like this, he had done a lot of writing on this day, and so he would have had to do a lot more writing. So that's why I ended up choosing to do the cut and paste one. And then the next thing we're going to be doing is time order words. We've done like context clues. We've done a whole bunch of cute, nice things. So again, this is Annie Moffat for the Moffat Girls. It is on teacherspayteachers.com, and you just pay for it and then you can download it and print whatever you end up wanting. And so like I said, I'll do a little thing about this, but I really, really love all the resources that she has, and for different grade levels and everything. She's been one that I've kind of looked through and used some of her stuff throughout all of the years of homeschooling. Okay, what's at the end of that sentence? Exclamation mark. So how would we say it?
The fan hit the rat. Bam.
Okay, how do you have to say bam if there's an exclamation mark?
Bam!
There you go. Good job. All right, turn the page. What's next?
The rat had
It. In
the in the end.
the end. So why do you think the pig bit the cat?
Oh no, Batman.
Well, what happened to the pig?
Rat.
The rat what?
Like that. It's
The rat bit the pig. So then the pig went in.
bit.
Yeah, bit the cat. Yeah, do you think the rat will bite anyone anymore? No, because what happened?
It broke.
It got hurt, right? The fan hit the rat. Did you like that story? Yeah, you did. Good job reading it. Good job, baby. All right, Brooklyn, what do you get to do? Sticker time. All right, so they really, really love being able to put their sticker on their lesson after they're all done. So I let them pick what color they want to do, and they do it all on their own. So this is their reward of doing the lesson, basically. And the way I got more than one of these sheets, if you go about It's allaboutlearningpress.com, I believe. If you go on their website, you can download these for free and print them off for free. So nice and easy. Good job, babe. All right, meanwhile, in front of us, Beckett is reading and doing his language arts to his Batman comforter. So if it motivates him, whatever, get it done. All right, Brooklyn, what are we going to work on?
Math.
The other thing along with this all about reading, this isn't all we end up doing for reading. The kids pick out their own reading books that they want from the library, and then every single day they end up sitting down and reading me a book or two. I just randomly do it throughout the day. I sit down and I say, hey, who wants to read to me right now? And they'll go find the book that they want to read to me. So it's really important to just keep reading. I read aloud to them, usually during lunchtime and then usually before bed, and we've shown that on many videos. And usually I try to read above most of their levels, and so even though you wouldn't think that you would read certain chapter books to a little 5-year-old, she is sitting down and she gets just as much from it as my 7-year-olds and my 12-year-olds are. So I think like them hearing all that vocabulary and different words and different ideas, they have to think about what came first and next and last. I ask lots of questions like, what do you think that blah, blah, blah is going to do next? Or why do you think this ended up happening? So it's a lot of comprehension that they're getting just from me reading it out loud to them. And they really, really enjoy it. And I think it's important. And it is so funny because when we started homeschooling, I felt so weird reading out loud like chapter books to my kids. Like obviously everybody reads normal kid books. But it felt really weird reading the actual chapter books. And in fact, my throat hurt so bad after every single day because projecting your voice out actually takes a lot of energy. But now I feel so weird when we don't read aloud to our kids. So even my 12-year-old, she's obviously way old enough to read everything on her own, but she enjoys it just as much as my 3 littles do. So I hope it's something that we continue throughout the years, no matter what like season we are in life, because I think kids just enjoy that extra time together. All right, we're gonna keep rolling. All right, I have Brooklyn going on her math. I have Beckett going on his language arts. It is stuff that they can be completely independent on. So now I am thinking about supper, and I'm gonna run down to the freezer and see if there's anything I need to pull out from there and from the pantry. Meanwhile, Kenzie's doing jumping jacks.
You're weird.
All right, so these are the 2 things I am pulling out of the freezer for meals for later on this week. I don't know exactly what we are having for supper tonight, which is hilarious that I just spent so much money at a grocery store, but I don't know what we're having for supper. But we do have that fresh ground beef that we bought from the store, and honestly, we haven't had ground beef for like easily over a week. So I feel like that's a really good option to have tonight. So this is frozen, fully cooked pulled pork. There's 2 pounds in here. It's pretty thin, so I'm thinking that it'll probably thaw pretty well. And honestly, I am going to put this into the crock pot. So I'm going to put it in the fridge overnight, let it thaw to however much it'll thaw to. And then tomorrow I'll put it in the crock pot for a meal. And I got hamburger buns. And then I figure if we have leftover even after that, we have a whole bunch of potatoes that are huge for baked potatoes. So we could do like a loaded baked potato with pulled pork meat on top, which sounds really, really good. And then this is just basically deli turkey meat. And this is really thick, so it's going to take a while to end up thawing out. So even though I just bought a whole bunch of different meats, I'm going to get this out to start thawing out also. So 2 more things out of my freezer. I'm just thinking about, you know, what we're going to do for meals for the rest of the week to make our homeschool life a little bit easier. And I can hear the twins upstairs need me already. You can tell they're a little distracted, so I'm going to get back up there. All right, so I figured out supper for tonight. So we're going to do homemade hamburger helper. The kids are working on their homeschool again. It is now 5:30 at night, and so perfect time to get supper going. We never homeschool this late. It's just because we were on the run all day, and honestly, I knew we had nothing for tonight. We don't have dance all week at night, in fact, and so I was fine pushing school towards the nighttime. So I have this penne pasta, and a little like tip basically is I love these big cereal containers. instead of having like 5 different boxes or 5 different bags of pasta, I put them all together in here, and then I end up cutting out one of the instructions and I just tuck it down in there. We do this with the pancake mix, our rice, our pasta, like anything that like this will be nice and easy, and then you could just tip it right out of there. So we are going to make homemade hamburger helper. So penne pasta, I have some Velveeta cheese, we have the ground beef that is in the fridge, we use a whole bunch of different spices, and then for the side we are going to do some of this Famous Dave's cornbread to try to get it used up and out of the pantry. There are, I think, 3 pouches in here, so there'll still be 2 more pouches, so it won't get it completely done, but we're actually working towards the way, and my youngest child was wanting some muffins, so this is kind of a good compromise for that, and we all love it. And so this is going to be supper tonight. All right, still working on some school. He's waiting for help, and she's at the point she's ready for help too. Y'all probably understand this is kind of the hardest part about being a homeschool mom. You are torn in 20 different directions. Like if I don't help them, they end up walking away. And then if I don't have something prepped for supper, then supper ends up happening at 8 o'clock at night. And you know, just everything ends up being a domino effect and being really hard. So he walked away. I'm gonna help her first, and then he needs to get his booty back in here and get school done. I'm kind of at the end of the day, like end of my energy also. So, all right, let me help her. All right, what about us? Is that singular or plural? Can you find us?
Plural.
Yep. All right, so Brooklyn is the last kid to get done with school. She is finishing up also the Moffitt Girls Language Arts. We are doing singular and plural pronouns, and so basically she is reading the word and then she has to choose if it's singular or if it's plural. So the way I'm kind of switching it up for her is I am finding a random word that I'm saying instead of doing them exactly in order, so that way she has to read it and find it. So what about her? Her. There we go. All right, her. Is that singular or plural? Yep. All right, what about it? Yeah, is that singular or plural? Yep. All right, it is 6 o'clock at night. All the kids just got done with school. I mostly showed you guys, I feel like, what Brooklyn was doing just because she needed a lot of my help today with a lot of things. Beckett did all the same work. He just kind of takes off and does it on his own most of the time. I just have to read the instructions, or if there's like a lot of reading or harder words, I have to help him with it. Kenzie, my memory card had filled up, so I wasn't able to show you guys really hers. And then my 12-year-old kind of works independently. She did half of it while we were at speech, and then the second half she likes to go into her room so that she's not getting distracted by her siblings, and she got that all done independently. And so that ended up working out really well. Again, maybe I'll do a video that has a flip through of what we're using for each subject. I did do that at the beginning of the year, like an unboxing, and most of the things are the same. We really haven't changed stuff throughout this year. But maybe I'll link that down below, but then also maybe I'll do another video to kind of update it to say how we're liking or not liking certain things. And then all I'm gonna do now is make homemade hamburger helper for supper. And then we're all just gonna have some downtime, either play some games or read our own books, do whatever. I might do some planning. I do need to film a couple of my planning videos. And then Daddy's working because he's an accountant and it's tax season, so he's gonna be working really late hours tonight. So, all right, I'm gonna close out the video. I'm so happy to be back with you guys. I've really missed y'all, and let me know down below what kind of videos you're wanting to see. All right, bye.